I really thought I wasn't going to film today because Rook is having a really hard time. But then I figured this is maybe the best situation to be in for the video topic. So Rook is on a 1 nap a day schedule, and recently he's been refusing that 1 nap, and that's really stressful because I only get that time to film, and so when he doesn't nap, I can't work. But today we're powering through and just incorporating him with his sad little tears into the video. Today's video is all about how I love my child, but I don't like being a mom. And I don't want this to come off too harsh. I think it might. I also don't want this to come off as complaining because I know I am really lucky to be able to have children, but it's really hard. Life is really hard with children, and I want to talk about it to help relate to the people going through the same stuff, because I'm all about not scaring people away from parenthood because I love having my child, but I don't want to create a facade of how beautiful and lovely things are when they're not. So, what do I want to talk about? Let's go back to the beginning. I never really grew up maternal. You look so hilarious right now. I never grew up maternal. I never babysat any kids. I never thought much about children. When Josh and I started dating, we even brought up potentially not having kids. When I was in school, like high school and college, I was very ambitious. I had all these dreams about the career I wanted to have, all the things I wanted to accomplish in my life, and that stuff shifted. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not upset that I'm not some like big scientist or anything like I thought I would be. I am happy like with the path I chose, but going from being quite an ambitious, independent person to caring answering to every need that a child has is pretty hard to handle. And so you might be asking why I chose to have kids then. I honestly just had my hormones kick in. Like when I got married a couple months in, I think just because I felt that security of we had a home, even though we were renting, we had a home. I had a loving husband, like we had our finances in order, so I figured like it would be a good time to add a kid, or like my body figured that because all of a sudden I wanted children. So we had one, and it's lovely. I love Rook so much with my whole heart. We're not gonna eat right now. But yeah, that's why we decided to have children, and it's been a big adjustment. I entered it thinking if I approached parenthood with the right mindset and with the ambition I've brought with me in my life, that I could conquer it and have it be what I want it to be. Not to say if you have like the life you don't want as a parent that it's your fault, but I just really thought like if I stay on top of this, if I stay positive, sorry the lighting's bad, I can have a lovely like joyous life as a parent, and I can have the freedoms that I want and just take my kid along with me. And that really was, yeah, that really was the case for the first year of life for Rook. He was just dragged along everywhere I went. Babies, as long as you don't have any issues with them with like breastfeeding or colic or whatever, they're pretty straightforward. Like you feed them and they play and they sleep, as long as they sleep. So yeah, besides like COVID interfering, it was pretty chill. Like I got to still be the person I wanted to be. I did a lot of work on my business, and I was thriving. I really liked it. And now that Rook has gotten older and he has his own opinions, his own feelings about things, it's changed a lot, and I'm losing a lot of those freedoms, and it's hard when I wasn't really expecting it so much. I also just saw so many moms online, not all of them, there's a lot of moms online who like share real motherhood, but I saw a lot of them who have like so many kids and are like so happy. And not to say that they're lying about it, but I think maybe sometimes they hide some of the hardships that come with having a lot of kids, or just kids in general. And so when Josh and I decided to have children, we thought like, oh, maybe we'll have 4. And maybe, I say this all the time, maybe we'll still have 4, but right now that sounds so scary because I feel like I only have so much independence left that the more kids I add on, the smaller and smaller that's gonna get, right? Are you sleepy now? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep going, but this is a sponsored video, so I'm gonna hop to future Ashley, who's gonna do the sponsorship for today. All right, Rook is playing pretty chill, so let's talk about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you haven't heard me talk about them before, they are an online counseling service that provides a platform for clients to be matched up with professional therapists and conduct therapy sessions. They have over 14,000 licensed therapists that have helped over 1.4 million people. BetterHelp specifically is a great option for moms because we do live such busy, chaotic lives that having your counselor kind of meet you where you're at is so helpful, as opposed to finding a time slot to leave the house, get a babysitter. It's just so nice that it can be all done securely online. How it works is BetterHelp will assess your needs through an online quiz and match you up with a professional licensed therapist that will suit you best, and it's also free to change therapists at any time. It is not a crisis line, it is not self-help, it is professional counseling done securely online. Some perks about BetterHelp include that it is available worldwide. You can online message your therapist at any time. You get 2 hours a month of counseling sessions with your therapist, and they have groupinars where you can, as a group, work together to solve your needs. It's also more affordable than traditional counseling, and they have financial aid if you need it. So if you're interested, visit BetterHelp/EmbersandAsh, that's HELP, and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. So, what is it about being a mom that I don't like? Because I really thought I would thrive in it. There's a couple things I didn't really expect. For one, I've already touched on it, but I didn't expect that the transition to toddlerhood would be so much more difficult. Like, I always heard that toddlers were hard, but I've also heard that babies are hard, and we had a really good time in those baby months. And the toddler years are, it hasn't even been a year yet, but toddlers are a whole new ballgame. And they just require so much more of you, and what's up? Do you want your sleep sack off? And I don't want it to come off as selfish, because I don't think it is, but it's hard when you can't follow your own dreams and ambitions because you have a child that needs a lot from you. That's one of the biggest things I struggle with, is I have things that I would love to do, and I know that's all not possible right now. You want your toes out? There's your toes. There's your toes. Yeah, we're not going to eat right now. You want to run around? Okay, there you go. With a lot of those freedoms being taken away, I also have turned into a homebody, which I didn't expect for myself. And I don't know how much of that is from motherhood and how much is from the pandemic, because we've all been forced to stay home a lot. Not so much anymore, but I still have created habits that now lead to that. And it really does affect me. And some people have said to me online, like, oh, well, like, why don't you just like stop being a stay-at-home mom and go get a job? And that is an option, but it still isn't our best option, because I would like to be there with Rook to raise him, and daycare is very expensive, and it's just more complicated than that. The other thing is that I am not a homemaker. Like, I like my home. I like having a home that I've like poured into, like home decor wise, but I'm not one to just like be a busybody at home and like I like having a clean house, but I'd rather just not be home so it stays clean rather than being home and having to clean it all the time. You guys know I don't like cooking, and so much of motherhood feels like it's all about cooking. Like, I have to feed a child 3 times a day. That's so much work for someone who hates it. Let alone like feeding myself. Oh, did you break your glasses? Do you want me to fix them? Oh my gosh, what did you do here? Okay, I can't fix that right now. There you go. I'm also not going to be like that homeschool mom. That is something that I would not enjoy. I am very excited for when I get to put our children into school and get some free time to myself. I really just need things that are my own, and it's really hard to get that when you have a child. Like, I've been dreaming about when I can send all the kids to school and just spend my day working and renovating a house, because whether it's this house or another house, we're gonna have projects on the go, and I love working with my hands. I love building things, especially for our own space. So like, that's my dream, and it's not to say that I hate spending time with my children. I just need that balance of both. Like, I don't thrive off of being that full-time support for my child. And I know a lot of people do, and I'm hoping some of you relate to me on that. The other thing that I think a lot of moms can relate to is that it's so one-sided and thankless being a parent. Not all the times, but sometimes it can feel that way. You know, like the worst is when you, especially I don't like cooking, you spend time making a meal for your child and they're so hungry, they can't wait, and then you put it in front of them and they don't eat it and they throw it around. It's so discouraging. It's like, how am I supposed to put this effort into meals again if I don't even know if it's gonna be accepted or enjoyed? Oh wow, did you find the granola bars? Why aren't you sleeping today? You were so tired. But okay, so like, I'm having a hard time with parenthood, as you can tell. Like, I almost just want to be like an aunt sometimes, like getting all the benefits without all the work. Because, ooh, you're cool, right? Everything's fine? Okay. Oh, that's the thing. Okay, I wanted to talk about how, like, it's still worth it. Like, I don't want to discourage you from having kids. And that's kind of what I wanted to lead this conversation into, is that, like, as hard as it is and as many sacrifices as I've made, as you've made, there's still so many reasons to be thankful for it. Oh my gosh, he keeps almost hurting himself. Yeah, that's your arm. And the reason it's so confusing is that you have like the highest highs in your life and the lowest lows when you have children. Like, my life was pretty consistently steady before because you just get into your rhythms in life and whatever. But children bring such a spark of joy to the mundane in your life. It's so special seeing them grow and learn, and like, it can be thankless, but also seeing like the genuine love that they grow for you is so special. They can be so funny. Like, Josh and I will just laugh all evening talking about all the funny things Brooke has done that day. But at the same time, it's balanced out with the lowest lows, like the complete exhaustion, no breaks. Like, if you just need a second, sometimes you don't get that. Like, not getting basic needs like brushing your teeth or taking a shower or getting to eat your meal without someone yelling at you that they want to bite. It can be very, very draining, as you know, if you're a parent. But it's just funny how, like, it can be so hard and so amazing at the same time. The other thing is, I'm not sure how much of this is just a now problem. Maybe I just don't like mothering toddlers, which I think a lot of people can relate to, because I loved mothering a baby. Oh, did you find pancake on the ground? Yeah, we're not going to eat that. you want your broken sunglasses? Yeah. I loved mothering a baby. This is just a lot more work. But I feel like, or I'm very certain, once the kids are older, specifically when they're adults, I think I'm gonna be so grateful that I did this and that I got through all the tough times. Even I'm sure, like, as teenagers or children, like, depending on the kind of child you have and how you raise them, I guess. I've talked to some parents who are like, the teenage years are the best years because they're independent. You get to see them form into who they actually are going to be in their life, and you kind of let them go in hopes that what you've taught them will stick, and that freedom and seeing them succeed in that freedom is the most rewarding thing. So that's really encouraging. It's just scary for me thinking that I have a lot of years to go before I can get myself back in a way, that I get to pursue the things that I want. And it's also sad, like, thinking about, like, my mom and that she didn't get to live her life with 3 kids for a long time. And just every other mother out there, or father, or whatever, who's gone through that. It's just a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's like, it takes everything you have to raise a child. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. I have no regrets. I'm so excited that I have Rook. He's so amazing. It's just, being a mom is not quite what I thought it would be. It's a lot. Yeah, I hope you related to this and that it was encouraging for you, because that's what I want. These are the things that I need to hear, that as hard as it is, I still feel good about it. And I also remind myself, like, you know, like, all the hard things in life are the things that are worth, no, what is it? All the things that are worth doing are difficult. I don't remember what the saying is, but something along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna go chase around Rook for a bit. Yeah, that's you. That's you. And probably not get him to sleep, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.